Hello interwebs, it's Scott from Admiralty Entertainment here. I thought today we might try doing a little bit of a toy tour, but we'll do something a little bit different in that this is a toy tour of only one shelf of a display case. The reason that I'm doing this is because it is one shelf of one specific group, being Dreadnoks from g.i.joe series. And this shelf is going to be rearranged fairly shortly, so I thought let's just take a little look at it now before all the changes actually happen. You can probably kind of see part of the reason that I'm changing the shelf, in that the backdrop there is a Ralph McQuarrie Star Wars picture, which doesn't really quite go with the whole biker henchman of Cobra sort of theme for the Dreadnok, so I'm thinking we're going to just change this shelf out entirely. I've got plenty of stuff to be able to change it out with. But yeah, let's take a look at these Dreadnoks before they go into storage for a little while at least. So of course we do have the Z family over the side here. We have the big man Zartan himself. It's a 20th anniversary g.i.joe figure. All these guys in this level are of that 25th anniversary era build, so the third generation of g.i.joe 3 3/4 inch action figures. So this one, it's not the first one that was released, it was the second Zartan they released in that line, because he was a little bit more harking back to his original design. Still not certain about the armoured belly shirt sort of idea. I sort of grew up reading the comics, and I never recall him having that sort of look exactly. I know later action figures have sort of gone away from that and gone for a full body sort of thing, but this they're trying to keep some of the articulation and the homage to the original figure. So yeah, I can see why they did that. It still looks pretty cool, and I think it looks better than there's a more sort of Devil's Due imprint version that they did with the first release in the 25th anniversary. But he looks cool. You will notice that all these Dreadnoks do have their own means of transportation here. I did go a little bit crazy when the warehouse, which is sort of like New Zealand's Walmart, had a bit of a sale going on there. Maisto 118 scale motorbike, and I thought, well, this is a good chance to be able to get all the Dreadnoks their own bikes, and so it was a case of going through and trying to find something which sort of reflected the personality of each of the drivers. So that's Zartan's one back there. Don't ask me what the models actually are, but I thought that looked pretty cool. It's got some saddlebags there and everything. Of course, next to Zartan is my actual favourite of the Dreadnok family, even though I don't really view her as a Dreadnok as such. Zarana. I loved her in the Larry Hama g.i.joe comics when she was sort of like part of the Cobra hierarchy, sort of in the post-100s era, and that was a really fun time. And I really enjoyed this figure. I managed to get this one. It was a convention exclusive, I believe, San Diego one, I think, and they had this version and a Cold Slither version, as I recall. I'm personally glad that I managed to get the original version, because I'm all about the homage to the original. The Cold Slither one will look pretty cool too, but I like this one. It sort of fits with the overall theme. And of course you can see her bike next to her there. And of course, Xander, the least developed, but kind of interesting when they did him in Devil's Due, as sort of like, he's annoyed that he's the least remembered of the Zartan family. I actually really like his Devil's Due outfit they designed for him in that series. But here he is in toy form. I think this is only about the second figure that they ever actually did of him, whereas Zartan and Zarana, of course, have had quite a few different versions of them. But yeah, he looked pretty good there. I think he came in a Dreadnoks multi-pack. A lot of the Dreadnoks actually came in a multi-pack sort of thing. But there is his bike that I chose for him. Again, I thought pretty cool. And of course another remnant of the Devil's Due continuity, which doesn't really apply anywhere anymore apart from looking back at those comics. Xania? Yeah, I think it's Xania. So Zartan's daughter, and yeah, it was really cool that we did actually get a figure of her for the 25th style construction. Of course I went for her bike to be something a little bit newer, so it's a Yamaha obviously. Not quite the same sort of chopper design that everybody else's bikes were, but something a little bit hipper, younger, sort of sleeker and that sort of thing. she's still very much punk as much as everyone else. And this figure, I think, does kind of make her look a bit older than I personally would have thought she should have been. But, you know, it still works. And as I say, it's nice to be able to incorporate her into the 25th anniversary style Dreadnoks. And of course we have some of the core Noks here. So we do have Buzzer, and I give him a nice purple bike back there that you might be able to see. And of course Torch, with some sort of flame-like designs on his bike, which I thought sort of, you know, suited the character there. And Ripper, who I still think that his mohawk was toned down an awful lot for that release, but that was kind of cool. And of course he's got his Harley back there as well. So that was nice to have the original three guys. I never had the original three in the G1, as it were, g.i.joe figures. I didn't even actually have Zartan until a Ninja Force one, which was, given that he was such a prominent character in the comics, so I kind of, you know, I strongly followed the Larry Hama comics, and so that was my g.i.joe continuity, and so the toys that I collected often, you know, followed that. So it was cool to be able to get this version of these guys, which was very much in that style, you know, design-wise, for their costumes and looks, but with the, you know, sort of modern updated articulation. Say that 12 times fast. And to be able to, you know, put them in. Part of it also actually came about because I'm not a huge Dreadnoks fan. Just because being in New Zealand, we didn't have these guys released at retail here, so I'd have to order them online. And in a lot of cases, you'd end up ordering, you know, sets of the entire wave that these guys would come in. And you know, generally, I actually wanted guys other than these, but these guys were in those waves, so I ended up getting them as well. And after a certain, you know, amount of them, it kind of becomes a case of, well, I might as well collect the rest of the Dreadnoks. Why not? So yeah, there's the original three there, and you can see over the back we kind of start changing eras a bit here, because we've got not Thrasher. What did they call him for this version? I can't remember. It's Thrasher. Thrasher with his Thunder Machine, but they had to change his name because he didn't come with the Thunder Machine in this era of g.i.joe, of course. But I do have a original Thunder Machine back there that I bought specifically to be able to put with these guys, because for me the Thunder Machine is an iconic part of the whole Dreadnoks lore, and unfortunately because they didn't release one, you know, specifically to go with him, I really felt the need to get one anyway. So yeah, it's good to have him there. And we do also have Storm Rider here from the Pursuit of Cobra wave, Pursuit of Cobra subline rather, following the movie. I thought was an interesting design. Certainly cool with the way that they incorporate that, you know, the Cobra sigil on his Cobra sigil rather, on his little bandana scarf thingy, whatever you want to call it. And of course he does have the Storm Cycle there, which is the actual vehicle that he actually came with. So that's his proper one, instead of most of these nice, you know, completely unrelated, not actually completely in scale, but still look pretty awesome motorbikes. His one is actually the one that he comes with, and as I say, we've got the original Thunder Machine back there because you just don't have any other option. So, you know, he was an interesting addition. Unfortunately, I don't really have any sort of characterization for him, because I don't think he was really covered in anything. I don't think he was featured, not even the Devil's Due stuff. I haven't really seen any sign of him in anything else. But, you know, he certainly looks good as a Dreadnok character. You know, he's something a little bit different, but still similar enough that he certainly looks a part of the rest of the team. You got Monkey Wrench back there. Now he came from a g.i.joe Rise of Cobra 2-pack, I think it was. So I was a little bit disappointed with the amount of work that they put into him, but he was okay. The glasses he did not come with, and those I'm fairly certain were actually borrowed from a Rise of Cobra Baroness figure, because it's like, it's Monkey Wrench, he's got to have sunnies. And so I put those ones on, and they haven't fit. So that was something at least. And of course, he has a bike back there as well, which you can barely see. He's actually got the green chopper there. You can see the green reflecting a little bit there. Behind him, you've got Zanzibar, who I never quite understood the whole point of. I mean, they give him a Z name, and yet he's not one of the Zartan family? Yeah, whatever. And like the Thunder Machine, we've got a vintage Dreadnok air skiff back there, because I don't understand this guy without an air skiff. So that's kind of cool. Managed to get it fairly cheap, but mostly I know that the air skiff has a lot of problems with broken parts, but you know, he came mostly complete. So I do have an original Generation 1, as it were, figure of Zanzibar as well, but this is the more modern version of him, of course, but with the original vehicle. You also got Burnout back there. Excuse the shadows, we don't actually have any lighting in here, which is a shame. And of course, Burnout was a Dreadnok character introduced in the g.i.joe vs. Cobra era, so that second generation of action figure builds. And he was very much an unexpected one for them to turn into the 25th anniversary style. Didn't expect it at all. Very glad they did, actually, because they did some very interesting character designs in that era, and I thought he was an interesting design addition. You know, worked in quite nicely. And my second favourite Dreadnok, and my favourite Dreadnok if you discount the Zartan family rope big. He again came in this multi-pack of Dreadnoks, which gave us this wonderful alligator alley sort of shield thing. I don't have the little crossbow attachment for his arm, which they didn't have in the original release, but they did include that in the 50th anniversary release of the Cobra Night Landing versus a Vamp, I think it was, which had flint and a Cobra eel, and those nice little creative weapons, which sort of supplemented what they'd already released in various other figures, and his crossbow bolt was one of them. Probably going to have to pick that up on the secondary market at some stage. But yeah, he's a nice character. I loved the version of him in the comic books, a sort of split personality sort of thing, and his great infatuation with Zarana. He was fun. I liked him. And of course we do have more motorbikes back there, everybody, and we also have Norgahide, or as this release was, just Nor. Okay, I know that they've renamed for legal reasons, but Norgahide is the guy's name, is the Dreadnok Poacher, which I always thought was kind of a weird speciality to have. What do? You poach things. Okay, cool. But yeah, he sort of rounds things out a little bit there. You can definitely sort of tell the different tiers of importance. The original guys are up the front. They're the ones that really had the personality. The Zartan family, of course, your major characters. Let's focus a little bit there. Here we go. Oh, that's better, doesn't it? Yeah. And yeah, some other characters just sort of in the background for a bit of colour. You know, the Dreadnoks were very much that biker gang sort of thing. A little bit of Mad Max infusion, especially when you get sort of like Thrasher and Thunder Machine and that lot. But you know, it's an interesting little element to throw into the g.i.joe mythos, which was very much, you know, super villains versus the US military. So let's throw some Mad Max bad guys in there as well, sort of thing. As much as Masters of the Universe was a line where anything could happen, these guys sort of added that little bit of extra, you know, diversity of concepts to the g.i.joe mythos, which I thought was fun. So there, I hope that you've enjoyed this. I had a little bit of a chance to pull out some chocolate-covered donuts and grape soda, and have a little looky here before this lot gets massively rearranged. I'm not going to show you the other shelves just at the moment, because a lot of them are basically retaining their same content. Once I do a little bit of a clean up here and add in some nice little backgrounds. These guys, as I say, are probably going to go into storage, and we'll put different content entirely into this little bay. So we'll show you again what that looks like once that's actually done. If you see anything sort of in the periphery of these shots, such as, like, you know, the Indiana Jones guys over there, the BB-8 Sipper over there, some October Guard guys down there. We will be covering them later on, but I just thought it'd be fun to be able to look at just a little toy tour of this one shelf on its own. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed yourselves. See you again next time on Admiralty Entertainment. In the meantime, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, and we'll see you again next time on Admiralty Entertainment. Take care.